Hello, this is a training to develop the skill of positive intent and is based off of the conscious discipline, skills, and structures. You can read along with me as I read this. Are you a mind reader? I'm not. Yet I find myself walking through the day attributing intent to every other person's actions and words. The waitress is an idiot because she didn't give me correct change. My husband is being spiteful by leaving his shaving can on the tile after I specifically told him that it leaves a rust ring. My child is being selfish by grabbing things out of my purse without asking. Are stupid, spiteful, and selfish the real motivations these people have when they open their mouths or take a certain action? There's no way for us to know for certain. We make up their intent in our minds. We can choose to see the best in others or see the worst. Once we've judged the nature of another person's actions or words, we reap a slew of emotions of our own. When we attribute negative intent, the emotions we experience are equally nasty. Attributing negative intent to them creates negative feelings within us and throws us into the lower centers of our brain. If we're making up the intent, why in the world would we want to attribute an intent that results in nasty feelings for us? We can just as easily attribute positive intent to these situations and reap positive emotions. Negative intent does more than just flood us with nasty feelings. It also inhibits our ability to teach others how to treat us and how to treat each other, particularly when dealing with children. Seeing the best in them is the only perceptual frame that will enable us to teach new skills rather than project guilt, hurt, and other negative feelings. Children convey their wants and needs through actions such as hitting, grabbing, and fussing. When they don't get what they want, they tend to fuss louder and bigger. To be effective parents, we must shift from viewing louder and bigger with negative intent, such as she's being selfish, to viewing it with positive intent, such as she's missing social skills. The habit of attributing negative intent is so ingrained in most of us that it's difficult at times to recognize, much less reframe positively. Yet this shift is 100% necessary if we want to raise children with self-esteem, responsibility, and self-control. It is also essential for teaching them a new skill and solving problems. Below are common examples of attributing negative intent followed by possible positive intent for the same situation. Remember, we are making it up. It is our choice which way to perceive the situation. Examples. Casey is just mean. Or, Casey wanted the crayon and didn't know how to ask for it. I've told her 1,000 times to not come in without knocking. Or, she gets excited and forgets to knock. Matthew sure pushes my buttons. Or, Matthew is giving me an opportunity to practice staying calm. Devin is acting crazy. Or, Devin has a lot of energy and needs help to focus. Carrie is disrupting my quiet time just to irritate me. Or, Carrie is having trouble finding her blankie. Wait a minute, you're saying. You mean nothing a child does is wrong? Attributing positive intent doesn't mean the rules fly out the window and limits don't need enforcing. Rather, positive intent allows you a frame of mind which you can better teach the skills the child needs. First, attribute positive intent, then set the limit and teach as necessary. Step 1. Breathe. And attribute positive intent with the action. For example, you could say, you wanted my attention. Step 2. Put words to the child's actions. No judging words, just describe the action. So you blank. Your verbal description will bring the child's action into his or her awareness. For example, so you hit me in the knee. Step 3. Finish speaking the positive intent out loud. Define the child as a worthy person who made a mistake. You might say, you didn't know how to blank. In our example, you didn't know how else to get me to look at you. Your child may correct you. If this happens, repeat the correction and reframe. Oh, you hit me in the knee because you were mad at me. You didn't know how else to tell me you were angry. Step 4. Assertively set the limit and explain why. Give the child a clear limit and a simple reason why that limit is set. Be assertive. Relate the limit to safety whenever possible. Setting the limit fits nicely into this sentence. You may not blank. Blank isn't safe. In our example, you may not hit. Hitting hurts. Step 5. Finally, teach what is the acceptable behavior. Once you have taught the appropriate action, ask the child to practice the new skill. It's helpful to use these words to frame the learning. When you want to blank, say or do blank. Say it now. In our example, when you want my attention, touch my arm gently. Try touching my arm now. Step 6. You did it. Reinforce the action by telling the child how his or her new skill is successful. Say, you did it, and describe the action. In our example, you did it. You touched my arm gently so I would know that you wanted my attention. With this positive intent, we can transform hurtful situations into teaching moments. With negative intent, we will continually punish our children for not having skills that they have not been taught. The choice is ours. Now it's time to practice.